am home. I did not, unfortunately, get any footage of my hamstring focused leg day. So, instead, you're gonna get tonight's post-workout pasta meal. So I just, as you see here, stove is going off. I just boiled, I have 3 servings of pasta, and then I'm gonna do some extra lean ground beef. Might saute some mushrooms, or maybe just add mushrooms in. And then, you gotta love this, guys. Everybody knows that I love pizza. Check out what I use for my Parmesan cheese. Domino's grated Parmesan cheese. That's what I use. And then getting some micronutrients in. I finished my salad last night, so I cut up. One thing I freaking love, I slice up tomatoes and I put sea salt. Never tried it? You gotta try it. It's freaking bomb. Put sea salt on the tomato, and it just has this. I can't even describe it. You have to try it for yourselves. So I'm gonna dice up some cucumber. Got some carrots here. Some eating those. Got my Trader Joe's pasta sauce I'm gonna use. So basically, some of you guys have seen this meal I've done in the past. It's just really fast, especially if you already have cooked up lean meat. All you have to do is just boil the noodles and then drain them. And then I personally add in a little bit of the kicker to really spice up your noodles though. You guys have been seeing this, I've been using a lot of this lately. A great fat source, this Kerrygold salted Irish butter. Or it's even grass-fed for you bros out there. So I usually mix like a half serving to a serving depending on my fat intake for the day into the noodles after they're drained. Oh, makes it taste so good. So again, guys, it is Friday night. It's already 11 o'clock. I've been working out later. My schedule just kind of changed a little bit. I'm working out solo. Just been having to run around a lot more to like different gyms to see different clients. I already have like 4 people that I'm getting ready for, kind of getting started for shows in October. We have another NPC show here called the Night of Champions. So I have a couple of 2 like men's physique guys, a classic physique guy, and I'm just starting up a girl doing her first figure show. So really exciting. Again, like just getting a lot busier coaching wise. I've been adding clients like almost every single day for the last like week and a half. It's just been, and it's crazy too because it's all word of mouth. Like I don't really do any type of like, the only marketing I do is like posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram of like me and my clients, and just through like doing that, it's just been growing like crazy. But obviously it's like posting up, you know, client transformations. And honestly, like I wouldn't be able to grow if I was doing a crappy job with these clients, but all my clients have been so happy and thankful, you know, for the results and like how attentive I am to like their needs. And I really pride myself in, you know, trying to respond back to people, you know, literally within like the next however many minutes. I make it a point, even if I'm like at the gym or something, I try to get back to clients as soon as possible. I've heard so many different horror stories of people, you know, hiring these big name YouTubers or Instagrammers with, you know, 1 million followers or whatever, and oh yeah, they don't hear back from their coach for like a week or something like that. And then one guy even told me he didn't even get his name right, like in the email, so he thought he was the coach thought he was emailing somebody else. So anyways, long story short is just I really pride myself in my coaching and really helping others. And one thing I feel like I can, you know, add value to people is being older. I feel like a lot of people in this kind of natural bodybuilding arena or stuff are all like younger in their 20s and stuff, and here I am, 33, but I feel like the one thing is I have experience where I've kind of been around, you know, bodybuilding and natural bodybuilding, and I've learned from a lot of the greats in this sport, and I'm really into the science of bodybuilding and learning about new methods and, you know, whatever is most effective for natural clients and everything like that is what I implement with them. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I will show you this meal when it's all prepped and ready to check this out. I have a huge bowl of 3 servings of pasta. I did 6 ounces of extra lean ground beef and about 220 grams of pasta sauce. So, oh, and I did half a serving of the Kerrygold butter mixed in with the noodles. So I'm gonna mix all of this up and then throw it in the microwave, add a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top, and then that'll be it. There it is. I don't really get much presentation points with this ugly plastic container, but this thing is freaking huge, as you can see. So it holds all of this pasta. So this will be my post-workout meal tonight. Like I said, there's probably a good 120 carbs. Well, probably more than that with all the pasta sauce and everything. And then lately what I've been doing, I think I got my last one, is doing my vanilla caramel. I love these. The Skinny Cow, the low-fat ice cream cones. Love these. Good macros. 3.5 fat, 29 carb, 4 protein. So probably after a little, let my meal digest, I'll probably have that. And then probably another protein shake. Probably do my mint cookies and cream. I literally demolished this and it felt like minutes. One thing I sit here and I think about sometimes is this whole entire pasta bowl was, I'm just kind of estimating right now, maybe with the sauce, 130, 135 carbs. It's just crazy to think that you can down that so easy, so fast. And then when you're deep into like a contest prep, how that can be like your total daily carb intake. I look back at like 2013, and let me turn this off. My lowest my carbs got to was 125. So literally just in this meal and downing it like in a few minutes, I literally had more carbs in this in this sitting than I would have had my whole entire days of contest prep. Those are things that I think about that start depressing me about thinking about dieting again. Giving up Papa Murphy's and Domino's, and it's hard to think about giving up a lot of those. That's the hardest part of contest prep, at least for me, is I love pizza, I love burgers, I love ice cream. I have a horrible sweet tooth. I love candy. I love sour candy, specifically Sour Patch Kids. You guys have probably seen me post. Oh, so it's hard. So I go into contest preps, and I'm the type of person that when I diet, like I could never, especially I feel like now, I could never do like a restricted meal plan. I think I would go insane. Like I always, when I'm hungry, I feel like I get cravings like all over the map. I want salty foods, I want sweet foods, I want, you know, all these things. So that's why a lot of times I'll literally instinctively kind of be at the gym during contest prep and like, you know what? I'm really, really craving some chicken tacos. So I'll literally go to the store, get tortillas and chicken and all that stuff so I can like satisfy that craving. So that's why I really love flexible dieting, is because I can kind of sit there and attack these cravings that I have, but obviously you just have to learn to be able to, you know, find macro friendlier foods to kind of trick your body. You know, like even though I can't go to Papa Murphy's or Domino's or go to my favorite burger place, I can still you know, substitute some macro friendlier foods to kind of like trigger my brain to feel like, you know, if it's me, whether it's either me, you know, making my own homemade pizza and having to like, you know, like last contest prep, I literally would like go and I would buy things of dough and I would like roll it out, buy my own like, you know, my own fat-free sauces, all that stuff, and then use like a lower fat mozzarella cheese, use like lower fat toppings. And then with like burgers, I would just use like usually regular type, you know, store-bought, the cheaper buns are usually only like 20 carbs per bun, so not horrible. But then just using like a 96.4, you know, lean ground beef, and then having your ketchup and your mustards and lettuce and whatever you want on your burger. So it's, even though it's not the same, it's like going to a restaurant and having a nice juicy burger. You're at least kind of getting those same, you know, tastes, and you're staying within your macros, so it's not hurting your progress. So this is another thing, you know, a lot of people are still kind of confused on like what flexible dieting is. And I hate that a lot of people still to this day have such a misconception of thinking that all we do is just eat junk. And you hear like so many hardcore bodybuilders that still come out and make these videos about, oh, these guys that do this, if it fits your macros, they're just looking for an easy way out because they can't hack it and they can't stick to like, you know, the hardcore restricted meal plans, which is not the case. We just like more of, you know, a balanced attack as far as being able to still fit in a variety of foods. But it's like, no matter what, 200 carbs, 100 carbs, it's still not that much food. So when you're dieting, whether it's flexible dieting or meal plans, it's still not that much food. So you're still gonna be hungry. It's like people assume that since you're flexible dieting, you're not gonna be hungry. That's so not true. But I also want to get into a funny topic, not a funny topic, but a kind of a topic around the bodybuilding kind of arena right now. And obviously even, I mean, I know it's not a natural type topic, but the big news kind of right now is like this Kevin Levrone comeback. And what's kind of crazy is Kevin Levrone is right now like preaching that he's doing flexible dieting, which is kind of crazy. You know, I feel like the one knock that a lot of people will say is about flexible dieting, or if it fits your macros, people will be like, well, name like one IFBB pro that does flexible dieting. And you're like, well, but then usually I'll pull up a lot of people, if you haven't seen it, I think it was like Jerry Ward or somebody interviewed Jay Cutler in a video and was kind of asking him about, you know, the whole flexible dieting, if it fits your macros. And you can like look that up on YouTube. But even Jay Cutler said he thought his best look was in 2001. And he said, I think he said he was like eating like candy corns and like regular like sodas and other type, I think, you know, like foods that you wouldn't assume that most IFBB pros, because you think they only eat clean. But he was saying he thought he achieved his best look when he was doing that. So it was kind of funny because most people always say, no, there's no IFBB pros that use flexible dieting. But let's look at like, I mean, think about Ronnie Coleman. I know a lot of you guys, I personally have loved over the years. I think it was like more like the early 2000s. Think about 1998 to like 2006 is when Ronnie Coleman won all of those Mr. Olympias. And even though, yeah, you watched his videos and he was making like tons of chicken and potatoes and going out to eat and stuff, he literally would take his KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce and just drizzle. I mean, he wasn't weighing it, and he used a good amount. He probably added, I wouldn't be surprised if Ronnie added an extra 20 to 30 carbs. I mean, actually, he probably did, and that's in multiple meals. He might have added an extra 50 to 60 carbs a day from just his barbecue sauce. So again, that's technically, that could be kind of counted more towards, you know, more of a flexible approach, or less if he was just eating purely clean, he wouldn't be adding that barbecue sauce. So back on the topic of Kevin Levrone, I kind of made a post a while back that kind of got a lot of chatter and stuff like that. So I'm going to read it to you because this was just kind of like my theory of why I think this whole Kevin Levrone thing is happening. So you guys can disagree with me, you can agree with me, but it was just kind of a theory that I came up with. I could be completely wrong. But here was the post. I made this on Facebook. This was on May 9th. I said, I may get some crap for this, but this is just my opinion on the whole Kevin Levrone comeback. I said the IFBB pro bodybuilding, specifically IFBB pro bodybuilding, is dying. Now fitness as a whole, now fitness as a whole is growing like crazy. That I definitely admit. The supplement industry, I mean, think about how many CrossFit gyms you probably have in your city. You know, more people wanting to like be involved in fitness and get fit, especially with like the expansion of like social media, Instagram. I'm primarily focusing on IFBB pro bodybuilding. This whole Levrone comeback is just hyped to get people excited about the Mr. Olympia again. Especially with Kai not competing last year, and he may not this year, the IFBB is desperate for ticket sales and surrounding hype around the Olympia. And then I went to say, again, a lot of you guys that have, you know, followed bodybuilding since the late 90s, early 2000s, I said, I mean, go back and look at the Jay Ronnie days when we had so much coverage before the Mr. Olympia and hype going into the show. So any of you, if you guys followed, like, you know, back in the day, I used to like follow like RX Muscle, Muscular Development, all those things, just because we're always putting out really, really good, kind of like those day in the life type contest prep videos, like filming Ronnie in his house, like eating his food, like driving to the gym in his Hummer or whatever, and then getting to Metroflex. I love those like lifestyle type contest prep, like preparing for the Olympia. It was like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. So I used to love watching those. So, and again, it's like, I feel like, I don't know how many years it's been now, and we get like none of that. We get none of that. Where's like all the videos of like Phil Heath leading up to Olympia? You know, Kai Green, Dennis Wolf, Sean Roden, Big Ramy, whatever. You don't see that anymore. So I feel like that aspect of bodybuilding is gone. And so I kind of bring that up over the past how many years we've had Jack Squat for Olympia videos and hype. Again, I admit, I think fitness is growing big time. I see like men's physique growing, that grows every year because that look, men's physique, is attainable. The average person can look at that, you know, a men's physique guy and be like, you know what, I would want to look like that. Most 99.9999% of people do not want to look like Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman. That's just, they look like freaks. Bikini growing crazy, and then now we have this I really love, and especially now that I got to like actually witness it live at a show, I really do like this new classic physique division. And hell, if I ever did, not saying I would, but if I ever did an NPC show again, it would probably be in classic physique. You know what I mean? Because it is kind of an under, a little bit less size and kind of like freakiness than you would see in NPC bodybuilding. So I feel like that would be more ideal for a natural bodybuilder. And then again, I just kind of left it off with, I see all these classes, the men's physique, bikini, classic physique, really growing, but I see men's bodybuilding kind of dying a little bit. That's my opinion. I had a lot of people, you know, that agreed. I had some people that said, no, you're full of it because the Mr. Olympia, you know, still sells out every single year in like ticket sales. So I don't know, you guys can feel free to like leave comments of what you think, but it's just, I just feel like the focus on, I mean, especially like women's bodybuilding died out. They don't no longer have women's bodybuilding. I think a lot of us know why, because the women were turning into men. If you ever seen like Iris Kyle, she just got like, I mean, she looked like the female version of Ronnie Coleman. So that finally kind of died out. They replaced it with, you know, women's physique, which I think what Dana Lynn Bailey and was kind of one of the top women in that. But you know, just kind of this was kind of my opinion though. And I will say though, I mean, I admit now knowing that like Kevin Levrone would be in this this next Olympia, it does get me more excited to kind of want to watch and see like this guy. I mean, this guy hasn't competed since what, at least 2002, 2003. So he hasn't competed in like 12, 13 years. So that's a lot of time off. I think he's in his early, I think somebody said 51. I could be wrong, but anyway, so that's kind of my video, or that's my opinion on the topic. I'd be curious to hear your opinions on what you think.